Welcome back to the BRRRR Investor Podcast, where our mission is to empower aspiring real estate investors in their journey towards building generational wealth. Our special guest today is Don Klabunde, a dear friend of mine from Classic Builders Incorporated. Don and I met over 5 years ago, and ever since we've been working together on multiple projects. Don, one thing is, I do want to thank you for your service because I know you served in the Army, so we truly appreciate that. Don has undertaken many different projects from, a simple remodel, a full-on remodel, and then new construction from the ground up. And I've had the pleasure to, be exposed to many different projects. I've learned tremendously from this gentleman, and I'm grateful for your friendship. So thank you so much, Don, for being here today.
And I'm grateful for your friendship, Alex.
Awesome. So Don, can you share with our listeners a brief overview of your journey into home remodeling and new construction, and what drew you to this field?
Well, the long version is this. I grew up loving woodworking. And when I was 15 years old, my mother had an outdated kitchen on the farm that we lived on in Wisconsin. And I told her I wanted to remodel her kitchen. She said, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to buy you the equipment that you can do a good job. So she bought me, in those days, what was called a shopsmith.
Nice.
Which was many tools in one that you could change from one to the other, saw to a bandsaw to a planer, etc. So I built the new kitchen. Wasn't perfect, but it was my first custom job when I was 15 years old. Then time went on, and I met my beautiful wife, Cheryl, and we got married. And in 1967, I built my first custom home, which was for Cheryl and I. It was a 3,900 square foot house. It was a tri-level. And it was a real challenge, but it came out very, very well. After I built that one, then I built a new house for my sister and her and my brother-in-law. And from that point, at that time, I was an electrical contractor, not a general contractor. And my wife and I built that business to a point where we had expanded from electrical contracting to heating, ventilating, air conditioning, and mechanical piping. And we got large enough to where we started doing general contracting, and we switched the company to general contractor. In 1980, we moved from Wisconsin to Texas. I was in Texas for 6.5 years, and then we did the same business in Texas. And then in 1989, we moved to California, and I've been doing that business ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. And I had the opportunity to meet Cheryl. She's an amazing woman. We've met her on different occasions. We've had, meals together, and, I can see she's been there to support you every step of the way. And that's probably part of, the success and the growth that you've had throughout the years.
Without her, I wouldn't have had the success that I've had.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. Moving on, what are some of the most common challenges you face in home remodeling, and how do you overcome them?
Challenges that you face in home remodeling usually are from your client. From the client understanding exactly what the contractor is going to do for them and what their end product's going to be, what it's really going to look like.
Okay.
So the contractor, which we are, we have to be sure that our customer understands exactly what the end product is going to be and what it's going to look like. So they need a design before we get started, and we all agree on that design and work through the project as it progresses.
So it definitely sounds like, it's pretty challenging, and, being on the same page with the client is a big part of, doing this. And you probably, ha, one challenge may even be like the client not really knowing exactly what they want.
That's right.
So teamwork is crucial in this aspect.
Yes, teamwork is very crucial. And what you have to do is you have to understand what the client really wants. Once you understand that, then it's easy to convince the client of what he's going to get.
Okay. So that takes us to the next question is, how do you manage client expectations, especially when dealing with complex remodeling projects or unforeseen challenges during construction?
That's a good question because in order to overcome these challenges with the client has to understand exactly what they want, and we have to help them understand what they want and help them pick the product that's going to be what they really see in the future of their product.
Got it. And do you experience like at times where, there's a lot of mind changing during the process?
A lot of mind changing.
Yeah. I bet
And
that makes it a little bit stressful.
you almost have to be a psychiatrist.
Awesome. And in your experience, how does, having a solid team impact the success of your projects? And can you share an example where teamwork made a significant difference?
Yes, teamwork is very, very important. The employees of the company. The employees have to understand exactly what we are expecting in a product that they're performing for us and what the customer is expecting. So they have to be part of the team along with with us and the customer. So they interface with the customer as well. That has to happen. It can't be just the management of the company. They become part of the management of the company.
Mm-hmm. And again, I've had the opportunity to, meet a number of your team members. Obviously, just like any business, some of them, they go to take on different things due to different circumstances. However, one thing for the most part that I've noticed is, your main team members have been with you for quite some time. At least ever since I met you and before, and that says a lot about you. And it's all about leadership. I've seen a lot of people in your industry that, their employees or team members don't stick around, and that's because it's hard to deal with some people. But
It
in
is.
your case, kudos to you. That just says a lot about your leadership skills.
Well, what helps is bringing them into the company because we become a family.
Very true.
And once you have that relationship, the trust has to go both ways. They have to trust me, I have to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
And I do trust them a lot because I just check with them in the morning and ask them what they're going to do for the day or what their plan is for the day. We agree on what it's going to be, and I leave them alone for the rest of the day unless they call me with a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then we work on it together.
And you empower them. You empower them
Right.
to make their own decisions. This way, it also frees you to do other things and scale
Yes.
your business.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's very commendable. How has technology transformed the way you approach construction projects and from planning to execution?
Technology, you have to accept the technology that's coming.
Okay.
And the technology helps you do a better job with the craftsmanship that you're trying to perform for your client.
Okay.
So we try to stay up on the technology as much as we can. It's a difficult challenge sometimes because the new products that are coming down the road that continually help to make your product better and easier to perform sometimes becomes very challenging, expensive, etc. But we try to keep up with the new technology that's on the market as much as we can.
Very cool. Yeah, I bet it's a lot of challenge,
Oh,
a lot of changes, new
yeah.
laws, and different,
Yes.
different things to keep up with. So tell us, what do you enjoy doing for fun when you're not out there working, when you're not out there, building cabinets, building homes, designing properties, and managing the projects? What do you enjoy doing on your free time?
Enjoy being with my wife
Awesome.
because she doesn't see very much of me.
I bet.
She's a special person in my life. Been that special person for years and years and years. So we take weekends just to get away from the business and free our minds, etc. We'll just go someplace just to rent a motel and get away.
Yeah,
Just have time together.
that's awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about your dog? I know you're a dog lover, so tell us a little bit about your dog.
Oh, Rascal, my dog. He's a Italian Greyhound, miniature Greyhound,
Okay.
and the boy talks to us.
Yeah. I was on the phone with you yesterday and I
Yeah.
could hear him in the background.
Oh yeah, if I don't give him the attention, he's letting me know. I'm here too. But he is really a special dog. And when I'm away, sometimes I'm away for 2 weeks at a time, and the dog sleeps in our bedroom. But when I'm away, my wife has to go out and get him from the living room because he's laying on the carpet with his head between his legs, looking at the door, waiting for me to come through it.
That is awesome.
He's a special. We've had a lot of dogs, but not one like this one. This one's
Rascal is special, huh?
Oh, he is a special dog.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this wonderful discussion, could you tell our listeners what's the best way to reach you and how can they learn more about your services?
Well, there's different ways to reach us. We're building a new webpage, which will be online here in probably the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's one way. You can see some of the projects that we have done and are doing. My phone is always on. I have it with me, and that number is advertised. It's 818-521-4278.
And you answer it or you get back to them. I know
That's
that for
right.
a fact.
Yes.
That's awesome. So we'll definitely be putting Don's information in the comment section below. We'll also have his website so you can visit it once it is up. If you want to work with a contractor that's honest, trustworthy, which is kind of hard to find when you're talking about a contractor, I highly recommend this gentleman right here, Don Klabunde, and I'm grateful to call you a good friend as well. So thank you so much for being here with us today. I truly appreciate your time, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Alex. You're always a pleasure as well.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us on the BRRRR Investor Podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please hit like and subscribe to our channel for some more real estate insights. We love hearing from you, so please leave your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover in the comments section below. Be sure to check out our website, thebrrinvestor.com, and follow us on social media at thebrrinvestor. Keep learning and investing, and we'll see you in the next episode. I'm your host, Alex Nale. Stay invested.